Hello, I'm going to do a quick video about a project I'm starting on making a fuel injected intake for the Cadillac. Now I've started gathering up parts. I need to start machining stuff, but I thought I would show you guys where I'm standing and kind of what I'm working on. So if we look at some of this, what I have here is a Vortec Chevy distributor. That has a cam position sensor in it, and I put a lid on it, so I could run coil pack, or I can take the lid off, put a distributor cap on it, and I could run a regular ignition system with coil wires going to the spark plugs. Now I'm going to run this is a LT1 throttle body, and I'm working on cleaning it up. I've started collecting up sensors. I mean, we've got engine coolant temperature, we've got a map sensor, we've got the idle air control motor, we've got the throttle position sensor, and then this is a 4-position reluctor wheel that I'm going to mount to the hub to give me crankshaft position. And that's only 4. Now, depending on what computer, you probably have to use maybe a different reluctor wheel. But this is going to let me run a LS style 411 computer, and the earlier program that was sequential fire distributor with 4 reluctor wheel. Now if I'm going to go to a coil pack, I'll have to make this a 24X reluctor wheel. So I'm going to make it to where it just kind of attaches on, and I can swap it out if I change my mind. The intake itself, I'm going to use the boogieman intake, and we need to make a lid for it. I got a piece of material, and it's only 3/16 thick because it's just a lid. I'm not trying to bolt a carburetor. But I will show you how I'm going to transfer the holes over in order to make this. And if you're wanting to run carbureted, you could run a little thicker plate and a adapter on top, and it's something you could make at home if you're running the boogieman intake and you want to run different carburetors. So I will do a video on how to make this plate, how I drill out the plate, so that you know how to do that at home. And it's something you can do with just a drill press. But in my case, this is just going to be a lid. Now I've picked up runners. I need to machine them for the correct spacing. I chose this intake for a couple reasons. CAD company wants it low profile, and so this is as low as I can get. And this has got the bosses, so I can just machine the bosses for the fuel injectors. And I've got some fuel injectors. I need to test them and see if they're still good. If they are, I probably run these initially just on a really basic motor just to make sure the system works. I can always upgrade to a higher flow one if necessary, if we're going on a bigger motor later on. But initially, I just need to make it work. And that'll get the setup all done. Now, my basic plan is to take the throttle body and mount it to the front. Now, I've got a spacer that I'm going to make to space it out just a bit so that the throttle linkage works. And this will bolt right onto the front of the intake manifold. And then the inside is going to have a divider plate just like I did on the carburetors. So I will probably put a divider. Now technically it should have a taper to it. When you're coming in at the end of an intake like this, sometimes you can run up with trouble at this port, and I may just try a straight one and see because it's easier to make, but I will make it to where it comes out so that if I have to put a slight taper and machine one, I can do that so that it pushes the velocity up. What that does is it backs up the flow just a little bit so that this cylinder doesn't get completely starved. And that's one thing I'm still kind of debating about, so I haven't got material for that yet because I'm on the fence about how I want to do it. But the boogieman intake should lend itself by running the dual throttle body. I should be able to run it isolated. I will have to make a passage in the plate for the idle air control, but that should let it flow very well into the intake and still give me pretty good airspeed so that it has good low end power. Like I said, initially I'm going to test this on basically a stock motor and probably even the make it run motor, and just to see how it does, make sure it's well behaved before it goes on somewhere else. The stuff is coming in. I still got some other parts coming, but at this point I can start making things. I've got material for converting the Chevy distributor over to Cadillac style. So I need to make a little collar that'll go in here so that this will fit in the Cadillac. And I have worked up drawings for everything that I need to make. Throttle body spacer and the little cover plate for the top of the throttle body and a little adapter for the distributor. So that's the basic plan that I'm working on, and I'm going to start machining up parts. I probably will only show finished products on most of this stuff, except for I will show you how to transfer this bolt pattern, because this particular intake is not got the standard bolt pattern on it that it's supposed to. It was actually manufactured off a little bit. That's part of the reason I'm using this, is because I was going to have to make a custom cover plate anyway. So by the time I drill it, it's kind of committed to being fuel injected. I mean, you could put a block off plate on it, I guess, but that will let it become something without us worrying about the bolt pattern necessary for a carbureted top plate. So that's why I'm using this, and that's why I'm going to show you how to do a transfer bolt pattern, because I do not have this bolt pattern mapped out, and I'm only making one plate, so it's going to be easier for me to just transfer the pattern to the plate and drill the plate, which you could do on a drill press even. The plate itself I got from a supply house already basically pre-cut to size. I mean, it's basically in inches. It's not exact, but it's pretty close, to where I can just drill it and kind of clean it up a little bit, and it'll be good to go. I'm also still kind of debating what to do about angle on the fuel injectors. I may just go straight. It's not looking too bad. I was thinking if I wound up tall, now if I was using one of the taller, maybe LS injectors, I might have to angle it to kind of kick it over a little bit. Some of it just kind of depends on how much trouble it's going to be. I will drill this out first and get the fuel rail ready to go, and then I will do the final drilling here, and then I also have to make a bracket to kind of hold it down. So as I go, I will show all that stuff, and like I said, there will be another video on cutting the top for here. Everything else I'm just going to have at it, and I will probably do like another update video showing what I've gotten done and how I did it. So that's the basic plan of what's going on for this particular project. I just thought I'd do a short video and let you guys see, and let me know in the comments what you think. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.